It's week 5 of the 2025 college football season, and we got 20 more games we're making predictions on. Welcome in. It's Winning Cures Everything. It's a college football podcast. I'm your host, Gary Seegers, at GaryWCE on all the different socials, most active on X. If you're old school, you want to reach out to me that way, you can do that, Gary at winningcureseverything.com, or you can be part of the community. That's right, bettingcfb.com or buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. That's where you'll get all these fancy stat sheets and all that good stuff. So we're not going to take a whole lot of time. Let me go on and tell you on this specific show, on the 20 More Games show, 12-8 last week against the number, 48-32 against the spread overall on the season, combined with both of my big shows every week. 67, 52, and 1 against the spread. That is 56.3% against the number. The official plays over at bettingcfb.com or at the Buy Me a Coffee went 8-4 on official plays last week. That puts us up 4.76 units, up 12% return on investment for the season. So do with that what you will. Lots to get into. Let's go ahead and jump into the games. Game 1, Army goes to East Carolina. This one is on Thursday night. And our line right now, Army, a 5.5-point underdog. There is a 4.5 out there. Only one, though. So there's been a little bit of buyback because this thing kind of took off. It opened at East Carolina minus 2.5, total of 53.5. Now the total is around 52.5. Army won last year's matchup 45-28. This is the first trip to Greenville for the Black Knights since 2004. Since 2018, Army 17-11-1 against the spread on the road. Since 2020, East Carolina only 3-3 against the spread before a bye week. And that is exactly what we've got going on here. This is an interesting spot. This thing opened at 2.5. Of course, my power rating has East Carolina minus 8. My stat projected spread has East Carolina minus 9, so we're looking at a score somewhere around 30-20.5, 30-21, something like that. Right in line with what the implied score was initially. I've got a total of less than 51, so 50.5 on this. So that makes sense that the spread is moving that direction, that the total is moving that direction. These two teams, number 93 in PPA margin for Army, number 87 for East Carolina. East Carolina has played the number 96 current strength of schedule. Army, the number 66 current strength of schedule. Army has been playing a little bit faster than usual, 57 in pace of play, which is plays per minute. East Carolina's number 4. They go fast, and their offense is still technically pretty good. They can't run the ball for anything. They're number 126 in PPA per rush. Army's defense is number 100, but also East Carolina only runs the ball about 42% of the time. East Carolina, looking at the Pirates, they throw the ball almost 58% of the time. Number 64 in QBR. They are number 24 in passing success rate. They are number 23 in havoc allowed, so you can't get to the quarterback, and they don't turn the ball over very much. Turnover margin for East Carolina, number 13. Army is 127, so do not be shocked if Army drops the football and East Carolina finds a way to score off of it. Penalties per game, Army significantly more disciplined, which makes all the sense in the world. Penalties per game, East Carolina is number 131. So discipline certainly could play a factor in this one. That is something to pay attention to. East Carolina does have an overall talent advantage. Army is number 135 in overall talent. Obviously, development doesn't play into recruiting rankings. Army is always going to be this low. Air Force and Navy, the same thing. But East Carolina, number 81, so they do have more talent. 5 factors rank. This is interesting to see. We're not used to this from Army. Number 101 in raw 5 factors. East Carolina, number 53. East Carolina is a significantly better football team. And we saw this with Army last week. They were down 21-0 just like that with North Texas, but they found a way to come back. Was that a spark? Was that something that you're going to get to see East Carolina having to prepare for this triple option offense on a short week? That could get tricky. The way that this is going, though, I'm going to trust my numbers. East Carolina at home, I think they're going to be able to throw the ball on Army. And I also think that their defense is going to be okay. They are number 21 in yards per rush allowed, number 39 in rush rate against, number 35 in rushing success rate allowed. number 14 in offensive line yards, number 2 in stuff rate. And Army just has not been that good. Number 92 in rushing explosiveness, number 79 in offensive line yards. They are number 19 in stuff rate, but, I mean, it's a triple option offense. It's always going to be a low number. I am going to go East Carolina minus the 4.5 that I can get right now. It's minus 115, so we'll count that for the show. Give me East Carolina. Give me the Pirates minus 4.5 at home. We move to Thursday for game number 2, and Florida State is going to Virginia. Florida State has looked like absolute gangbusters here lately. Florida State right now, this one's 6 p.m. on ESPN. Florida State is a 6.5 to 7 point favorite, depending on the book, and we're gonna go with the 7 on this because the 6.5s are juiced at minus 130 and minus 122. We're not gonna go with that. 59.5 is our total. There is 158.5 and 159 out there, but everybody else's consensus 59.5 on this. It's the first meeting for these two since 2019. Florida State 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 on the road. Florida State 2-6-1 against the spread in their last 9 ACC road openers. So typically these lines are a little bit inflated. Virginia 12-7 against the spread in home conference games in their last 19. That is interesting. Virginia on the year 3-1 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. Florida State, of course, 3-0 against the spread and straight up. These two teams have both been pretty good. Florida State number 1 in PPA margin, Virginia number 20 in PPA margin. That's something to pay attention to because Virginia is playing significantly better than they have in quite some time. Chandler Morris is looking pretty good for him thus far. He's the transfer quarterback that came in from North Texas. Virginia number 15 in PPA per pass, number 32 in yards per pass attempt, number 34 in QBR, and number 9 in passing success rate. They are really good. However, Florida State's defense, number 25 in PPA per pass allowed, number 40 in yards allowed per pass, QBR allowed, number 26, and number 29 in passing success rate. Virginia not explosive throwing the ball. That's okay because Florida State doesn't give up explosive passes. Virginia is really good at running the ball. Number 5 in PPA per rush. PPA, by the way, is predicted points added for those that don't know. Number 18 in yards per rush. Number 12 in rushing success rate. Florida State's defense is good, but Virginia's rushing offense has been better. Now, part of this is because Florida State is number 9 in current strength of schedule. Virginia is number 94. So there's a massive difference there. As far as overall talent, Florida State number 20, Virginia number 64. And when you start breaking it down by position, Florida State has a massive edge basically everywhere. I mean, they are, especially the lines of scrimmage. Now, I will say that Virginia's offensive line is, I mean, they really went in the portal and spent some money on this. But Florida State's defensive line is number 24. Virginia's offensive line number 31. This is what really gets Virginia here is the fact that Florida State is awesome on offense. Castellanos went out hurt against Kent State. He was dancing in the locker room after. He's going to be fine. I mean, that's best I can tell. Nobody said a word about it. He's been practicing. Everything's good. They are number 3 in PPA per pass. They are number 1 in yards per pass attempt, and they kind of are like a triple option team almost with the way that they're doing things. They're only throwing the ball 30% of the time. They are number 5 in rush rate. They run it almost 70% of the time. They're number 2 in PPA per rush, number 3 in PPA per pass, number 3 in yards per rush, number 1 in yards per pass attempt. This offense has been absolutely smoking everybody, and that includes Alabama. So if you think Alabama's any good, they're probably better than the teams that Virginia has been playing. So that should tell you something. What we're looking for here, scoring opportunities per game, Florida State is number 14. Virginia's defense is number 21 in scoring opportunities allowed. The issue is Virginia allows 4.5 points per scoring opportunity. That's when you get a first down inside the opponent's 40-yard line. Florida State is number 11. When you go up to the top, scoring opportunities per game, Virginia is number 5, 8.25 scoring opportunities. So that's 8.25 drives per game that they get inside the opponent's 40-yard line or get a first down inside the opponent's 40. Florida State is number 12 in points per scoring opportunity allowed. They only give up 2.3 points per drive like that. Virginia's offense is number 49, 4.45 points per scoring opportunity. My power rating has Florida State by 6.5, but the stats have Florida State by 12.5. I'm going to go with that. I know Virginia's at home. I know it's a short week. I know all that. I don't think Virginia has seen anything like this Florida State team. They are absolutely rolling right now. Give me the 7. Florida State -7 is where we're going on game 2. Also on Friday night, game number 3 here, Houston at Oregon State. Oh, goodness. Houston is a 13.5-point favorite, and that is consensus across the board. You can't get a different line anywhere. Total is anywhere from 49.5 to 40. Let me take that back. 47.5 to 47. Misread. So the number has come down quite a bit. It opened at 49.5. It was down to 48.5 by the time I created this. But Houston, I mean, the number opened at 12.5. They're up to 13.5 basically everywhere now. Houston, this is the first meeting for these two teams since 1970. Houston 2-8 against the spread off of a regular season bye. Now, obviously, this is only the second year for Willie Fritz, who is the coach at Houston now. Oregon State 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 against the Big 12. And these two teams thus far on the year, Houston is Oregon State is 0-3-1 against the spread, 0-4 straight up. And Houston, 3-0 against the spread, 3-0 straight up. Houston has looked awesome. They look really, really good. Connor Wigman at quarterback. And it's not that he has been awesome. The offense is not the big thing here. Austin Armstrong's defense. Remember, he came in from Florida. They're really good. I mean, really good. Like, shockingly good. Number 13 in PPA allowed per drive on defense. Number 13 in PPA per play. They are number 7 in defensive success rate. The offense, though, number 131 in offensive success rate, and most of that has to do with the fact that they cannot seem to run the ball. Number 127 in rushing success. They are number 76 in yards per rush. They run the ball 62% of the time, but they are number 132 in predicted points added per rush, number 127 in rushing success, 111 in offensive line yards, 113 in stuff rate allowed. I mean, it's bananas. Like, it doesn't make any sense. They do throw the ball almost 38% of the time, which is really low, number 126 in the country, but they're number 53 in PPA per pass. If the offense was ever going to get right, it would be in this game because Oregon State is number 134 in PPA per pass allowed, PPA allowed per pass, and number 90 in PPA allowed per rush. They're number 112 in yards allowed per rush. They are not very good at this. And they're not very good on offense either. Now, there's a huge difference. Current strength of schedule, Houston, number 114, Oregon State, number 37. Oregon State has had to play Texas Tech and Oregon, both on the road. I mean, it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. So these numbers are a little bit skewed, but also, I mean, good gracious. They've played Cal. They got beat by Cal and didn't look good in that one. They got beat by, was it San Diego State? Who was the other one? I can't remember. Regardless, they've not been good against anybody. We'll say that. So, number 132 in PPA margin for Oregon State, number 58 for Houston. Houston's offense is going to have to do something here, but it really won't matter because their defense is going to, I'm not going to call for a shutout, but I would not expect a lot of points here. My total is 48. This thing opened at 48.5, and like I told you, there's a 47, and the rest are 47.5s out there. So this total is right in line with mine. The stats projected spread, I've got at 16.5. My power rating has Houston minus 13. I don't know how you could possibly be, even inside Reeser, I don't know how you could take Oregon State right now. This team is a shell of themselves. You would think that there would be a huge talent difference. Oregon State number 65, Houston is number 53. But you start looking into position groups, and all of a sudden, Houston is significantly better at a lot of spots. Oregon State does have some skill talent, but man, their lines of scrimmage, no go. They're getting blasted in that, and Houston certainly has better lines of scrimmage. We're going to roll with the Cougars. Minus 13.5. Give me Houston to cover on Friday night. Game number 4, and we move to Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone. Of course, the ACC network is going to see Duke going to Syracuse. And our spread on this, Duke is currently favored by 5.5. There are a couple of 6s out there as well. Our total is 60.5 to 59.5. There's one 59.5 out there. The rest are 60.5. This thing opened at 55.5, jumped up to 57.5 by the time I created the sheets. But it's been sitting around Duke minus 6.5, somewhere around there, basically the whole time. My numbers have Syracuse favored. But the issue is that the quarterback, Steve Angeli, tore his ACL or tore his Achilles, one or the other. He's out for the year. So Ricky Collins is going to be the quarterback. He's the transfer in from Florida State. And, you know, I don't know what to make of my number being that far off. And I don't think that Steve Angeli is worth 10 points, because that's basically what we're looking at. So maybe Duke would have only been favored by 2 or 3. Let's see. Opening spread on this was Duke 3.5. But I think that was before Syracuse just walloped Clemson. So I think this thing would have been closer to a pick'em. So we're talking about Angeli being worth like 6 points, 5.5 points, somewhere around there. And if that's the case, then okay, I get it. Duke's defense has not been very good. Ricky Collins came in and he threw some absolute darts against Clemson. Don't know what to make of the Syracuse offense right now. They can certainly throw the football. I think they're still going to be pretty good with Ricky. Duke with Darian Mensah, their offense has been awesome. Yeah, really awesome. Like, I think they've been significantly better than even Syracuse thus far. Duke, number 47 in current strength of schedule. Syracuse, number 38. Looking at overall talent, Syracuse, number 63. Duke, number 50. Duke has not played all that well this year. Part of that has to do with number 99 in turnover margin. They're number 115 in giveaways per game. Syracuse, number 61 in turnover margin, but they're number 91 in giveaways per game. They do a better job of taking the ball away than Duke does. As far as penalties per game, Syracuse more disciplined, number 41. Duke is number 79 on that. The Syracuse defense, a lot of this has to do with the fact that they played Tennessee in the opening game, and Tennessee put some points up. Number 106 in PPA allowed per rush, number 77 in PPA allowed per pass, but they are number 102 in passing success rate allowed, number 102 in passing explosiveness allowed. They are number 115 in rushing success rate allowed, etc. Duke is not going to run the ball on you. They only run the ball 40% of the time. That's number 126 in the country. They throw the ball a lot, and they are good at it. Number 23 in PPA per pass, number 30 in yards per pass attempt, number 30 in QBR. Looking on the other side, Syracuse, I don't know what this offense is going to look like, but this Duke defense is number 127 in PPA allowed per pass. They are a little bit better against the run. Number 64 in PPA allowed per run. They're number 66 in yards allowed per rush. But Syracuse only runs the ball 43% of the time. I think you might see some more quarterback runs with Ricky Collins. We'll see. This thing has drifted out too far for me. I think people are maybe overestimating how much Steve Angeli was worth. And if that is the case, we're going Syracuse. And the best number we can get right now is 6. I think they will play hard. I think they will do something for Angeli. And I think Ricky Collins is pretty good from what I was able to see in that game. And I know that the game was over by the time he got in there. But he threw some darts, and I was a fan. So give me Syracuse plus the 6 at home.
Are you tired of sore knees or joints slowing you down? Go Sleeves uses built-in kinesiology tape technology to give you support, reduce pain, and help you recover faster. Use code WCE for 15% off over at GoSleeves.com.
Game number 5, Rutgers is going to Minnesota. This one 11 a.m. on the Big Ten Network. And as it sits right now, Minnesota a 5.5 point favorite. There are a couple of 4.5s out there. Total of 51.5 on this one. Rutgers won 26-19 last year. Rutgers 16-8-2 against the spread on the road since 2020. Minnesota is 2-0 at home against Rutgers. They are 2-5-1 against the spread in Big Ten openers under P.J. Fleck. My numbers like Rutgers here. Now, they are dealing with some injuries. They're down to their fourth-string left tackle, but he held up fairly well against Iowa. I will say that. On top of that, the Rutgers quarterback has been fantastic. The Greek rifle, Kaliak Manis, he's been really good. Minnesota, their numbers look good, but they certainly didn't look good when they went to Cal. I'll say that. They didn't look good when they went to Cal. But the numbers always end up looking all right. Number 28 in PPA margin. They're number 43 in predicted points added per drive. Both of their running backs, it looks like, are injured right now. That is something to pay attention to. Don't know. Both of them are questionable this week. We got to pay attention to that. But Rutgers has wide receiver issues as well. Both teams are going to have their quarterback. So I think, at least as far as that goes, we're going to be all right. Minnesota's defense is the strength of their team. They are number 16 in PPA allowed per drive. They are number 17 in defensive success rate allowed. Rutgers, their offense is certainly their strength. Number 25 in offensive success rate. Number 15 in PPA per drive. That's predicted points added. And they're number 98 in defensive success rate allowed. That ain't good. Number 79 on passing. Number 122 in rushing. If Minnesota is able to get either one of those running backs back, they're going to have a field day here because Rutgers number 124 in offensive line yards allowed. Minnesota is number 49. Stuff rate allowed. Minnesota number 14. Their offensive line certainly does a good job. Rutgers is number 93. Their defensive line is not going to be able to get in the backfield. They're not going to be able to slow down any kind of a rushing attack by Minnesota if they have one, if they have anybody available to do that. Minnesota can throw the ball a little bit, number 39 in PPA per pass. They only throw the ball 48% of the time. They're number 52 in passing success rate. They're not explosive at all, and that's okay. On the other side, this is strength on strength. Rutgers, number 29 in PPA per pass. Minnesota, number 36 in PPA allowed per pass. You ain't going to run it on Minnesota. Number 4 in PPA allowed per rush. Number 2 in yards allowed per rush. They're number 3 in rushing success rate allowed. Rutgers is number 58, number 111, and number 45 in those metrics. Minnesota's defensive line is pretty good. But as far as defending the pass goes, number 61 in passing success rate allowed, that is interesting to me. I think Rutgers, even without the two wide receivers, really, they looked like the better team for the majority of that game against Iowa. I think they're going to show up here. I think this is going to be a tight ball game. Give me Rutgers to cover on the road. I don't know that my number necessarily is exactly right, where I've got Rutgers favored by 0.1 points on the road. My power rating has Minnesota favored by about a point. My total is right in line with the total. What did it say, 51.5? Yeah. Give me Rutgers. Best number I can get right now is 5.5. I'll take it. Give me the Scarlet Knights plus 5.5. 11 a.m. Central Time. This one on ESPN. Georgia Tech goes to Wake Forest. And, boy, the hype train is just rolling for the Yellow Jackets right now. Absolutely rolling. Georgia Tech, currently a 13.5-point favorite. They opened a 16.5-point favorite at Wake Forest. There are a couple of 14s out there. So, 2 14s, and then the rest are 13.5s. Our total sits at 52.5. There is 153.5 that is out there as far as this total. Georgia Tech won this game 30-16 the last time they played in 2023. Georgia Tech has won 4 straight in the series, and they have won 4 straight in Winston-Salem. Wake, off of a bye, 7-3 against the spread off a bye since 2020. So certainly something to pay attention to. They didn't play last week. Georgia Tech handled business last week, the week after beating Clemson. So there you go. All right. Looking at some of these numbers, I have the line significantly less, and my total is significantly less. Georgia Tech minus 10.5 is my stats projected spread. Georgia Tech minus 11 is my power rating. So I'm looking at a score of Georgia Tech 29 to about 18.5, somewhere around there. So let's call it 19. So 29-19. That is less than the 13.5 or 14. Georgia Tech is good on offense, good on defense. That's just an incredibly well-balanced team. Buster Faulkner is the offensive coordinator. He does amazing things with Haynes King. But in a game like this, you are not going to run him all that much. You're going to save him up for the most important games of the season. They're going to do some different things. I would almost guarantee it. You cannot get Haynes King through a season if you're running him 15 to 20 times against Wake Forest. That's just not going to happen. Jake Dickert's team, Wake Forest, pretty good on defense. Number 22 in defensive PPA allowed per drive. They are number 14 in defensive success rate, number 27 against the pass, number 19 against the rush. You look at all of their numbers, this is like Georgia Tech is going to have to work for this. On the other side of the ball, I don't know what they're going to have to work for on defense, though. They are pretty good against the pass, number 26 in PPA allowed per pass, number 55 in QBR allowed, number 34 in yards per pass attempt, and they're number 49 in passing success rate. Wake Forest, number 136 in passing success rate on offense. That is dead last in the country. I mean, just atrocious what they were putting out there, but that's okay. They try to run the ball a little bit. They run the ball about 48% of the time. They are number 112 in rushing success rate. So overall, number 120 in offensive success rate, not good. Georgia Tech is number 20 in offensive success rate, number 50 in defensive success rate. Georgia Tech is going to win this game. I feel confident in saying that. Do I think that they will win it by 2 touchdowns? I think it'll be a little bit closer than that. I feel good about this. The intangibles and whatnot. Georgia Tech number 99 in penalties per game, number 110 in turnover margin. If Wake was going to be able to take advantage of that, they should be better at those. But they're number 119 in turnover margin and number 71 in penalties per game. So they don't really have an advantage there either. I'm going to go with Wake Forest. Best number I can get is 14. Give me the Demon Deacons. I think at home they play this one tight. Jake Dickert gets them fired up after a bye week. They're going to have something for a ranked Georgia Tech team, and we know Georgia Tech does really well when they're a dog. They don't do really well when they're a favorite. I'll take Wake Forest, plus 14. 6:30 p.m. on FS1. App State is making the trek all the way up to Boise State. These are the 2 winningest G5 programs of the last decade, and this is their first ever meeting as FBS programs. So they did play when they were both in the FCS. That's been quite some time ago. The current line on this, Boise is a 16.5-point favorite. There is one 15.5 out there, and our total sits at 60.5 on this one. App State 6-10-1 against the spread on the road in the last 3 years. They have not been good on the road, but they do have a brand new head coach, and that would be Dowell Loggins, who was the offensive coordinator at South Carolina. He was a tight ends coach at Arkansas before that. App State is off of a bye week. Boise 9-0 straight up, and they are 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 against the Sun Belt. My number was nowhere close to the 16.5. Nowhere close. Now, I know App State went to Southern Miss and just got their brains beat in, all that good stuff. I get it. But again, my number is not even remotely close to this. I've got Boise by 11.8. My power rating has Boise by 11.5, and my total is way lower than the 60.5. I've got a total of just over 52 points. So certainly something I'll be paying attention to. I've got a score of around 32-20 in favor of Boise State. And Boise, really good on offense. You know, number 26 PPA per drive. Number 39 offensive success rate. On a down-to-down basis, in that South Florida game, they were actually pretty good. Explosive plays went against them. Special teams play went against them. That spread, or the margin, was a little bit inflated for what the game actually was. I'll say that. Looking at turnover margin, App State number 119, Boise number 89. App has played the number 127 current strength of schedule. Boise the number 69. Is that really accurate, though? I mean, I know these are the numbers that I've got on the spreadsheet. I know. But it's still so early in the season. We don't have very many data points. It is what it is. Boise, number 19 in PPA per rush on offense. App State, number 45 in PPA allowed per rush. App is number 7 in yards allowed per rush. Okay, I can see where App would hang in this game. That's what I see. I worry about the offense. The offense for App State, number 120 in PPA per pass. They're number 78 in QBR. They are number 40 in passing success rate, but they're not very explosive, number 105. They're number 132 in offensive explosiveness overall. That's not good. They're number 87 in defensive explosiveness allowed. Boise is number 28 in offensive explosiveness and number 135 in defensive explosiveness. So if App was going to have some explosive plays, it would be against this Boise defense, I believe. Just a guess. Looking at all the different things, Boise, if you look at the 5 factors, which is what the 5 factors are the things that win ball games. Raw 5 factors, Boise is number 71, App is number 87. I think this is a closer game than people are led on to believe. That's what I think. So if that is the case, if we're getting 16.5, this thing opened 17.5 and it's come down, I'll still stay on that side. Give me App State plus 16.5 on the blue turf. I think they can hang in this a little bit. I think they can make this uncomfortable for the Broncos. I will take the Mountaineers plus 16.5. 2:30 Central, and we are going to Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Mountaineers are going to host the Utah Utes. This one's going to be on Fox Saturday afternoon. Utah, currently a 13.5-point road favorite. I think that's got to do with some injury news, I would imagine. Boy, that's crazy. 47.5 is our total. It opened at 49.5 and it's dropped. Well, sorry, it opened at 50.5 and it's dropped down. Yeah, that's bananas. This is the first ever regular season meeting between these two teams. Utah 7-15 against the spread on the road in the last 4 years. West Virginia 21-11 against the spread at home since 2020, but they are just 6-7 against the spread as a home dog. So not always great in this position. West Virginia got absolutely steamrolled last week, but so did Utah. Utah got whipped at home by Texas Tech. West Virginia got beat at Kansas like a drum. Both of them got beat like drums last week. Utah, number 119 at current strength of schedule. West Virginia, number 89 current strength of schedule. And we've already seen West Virginia pull off some magic at home. I will say that. We've already seen that. West Virginia's offense has not been great thus far for Rich Rodriguez. Not even close. Number 107 in offensive success rate, number 110 in predicted points added per drive. They only put up 10 points last week, I believe. That's the last I checked it. It was like 41-10 at one point. It was just ridiculous. However, on defense, they're pretty good. Number 27 in defensive success rate allowed. And if you start looking at their defense, they are number 44 in PPA allowed per rush, number 38 in yards allowed per rush. They're number 53 in offensive line yards. The issue that they're going to run into is they are number 110 in stuff rate. Utah's offensive line is number 5 in stuff rate allowed. Utah's offensive line is number 26 in position rank. West Virginia's defense is number 42. West Virginia's offense is number 66. Now the Utah defensive line, West Virginia might be able to get a little bit of a push on them, but I think they are performing better than what this rating is. Utah's defense is really good. I mean, they are really, really good. Number 15 in predicted points added allowed per drive. They're number 16 in defensive success rate. And Utah is number 15 in offensive success rate. But we saw last week, if you have any kind of a defensive line, if you have any kind of a game plan to force Devin Dampier to throw the football, then they get in trouble. They are number 56 in yards per pass attempt, but they are number 22 in PPA per pass. They are number 35 in passing success rate. They're number 65 in passing rate, so a little less than 50%. Jason Beck is a really smart offensive coordinator, and against weaker teams, they certainly have a huge advantage. Sorry, that's on defense. Good gracious. Here we go. I was like, those numbers are really good. PPA per pass for Utah, 72. Yards per attempt, number 105. Passing explosiveness, number 130. And QBR, they are number 73. West Virginia's defense is good against the pass. Utah's going to have to run the ball, and certainly they run it really well with the quarterback. So that's going to be a thing. I look at this, and the fact that Utah is having to go across multiple time zones. West Virginia got embarrassed last week, and my number doesn't get close to this 13.5. Rich Rod, I know they're dealing with some injuries. It doesn't matter to me. I think they're going to put up a performance here to keep this thing at least relatively close. Give me West Virginia plus 13.5 at home in Morgantown.
Why struggle doing everything yourself? On Fiverr, you can hire professionals for just about anything. Marketing, editing, design, and more. Save time, get it done right. Click the link in the description to get started.
A team we just talked about, the Kansas Jayhawks. They're hosting the Cincinnati Bearcats Saturday. This one at 11 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone on TNT. That's right. TNT is now in the Big 12 business. And our spread right now currently has a pretty consensus. Kansas minus 4.5 at home. There is one 5.5 still hanging out there. So if you like Cincinnati, you would obviously take the 5.5. You like Kansas, you take the 4.5. Total is 55.5 on this one. My number on this game, my power rating, has Kansas minus 7.3. My projected stats spread, Kansas minus 5.62. So I'm pretty close to the line on this. This was 6.5 at open, and it has come down a little bit, obviously a couple of points. Brendan Sorsby is the quarterback for Cincinnati. He has done some really, really good things thus far for the Bearcats. They are number 16 in PPA margin. A lot of that has to do with how good the offense has been. Number 24 in PPA per drive. That's predicted points added. They're number 7 in offensive success rate. Let's start off on that side of the ball. They're number 7 in PPA per pass, number 7 in yards per pass attempt, number 4 in the country in QBR, number 14 in passing success rate, but they're only number 79 in pass rate. They only throw the ball about 47% of the time. They run it 52.31% of the time. And they're pretty good running the ball, too. Number 25 in PPA per rush, number 11 in yards per rush, number 13 in rushing success rate. They're number 7 in offensive line yards. Now, where they get caught up is they are number 48 in stuff rate allowed. Kansas's defense is number 17 in stuff rate, number 21 in offensive line yards allowed, number 10 in PPA allowed per rush. So this Kansas defense pretty good at stopping the run. However, they're not great at stopping the pass. Number 119 in PPA allowed per pass. So they're going to give up some points here. I will say that. On the other side of the ball, Cincinnati also good at stopping the run. Number 19 PPA per rush, or PPA allowed per rush. Kansas is number 32 in PPA per rush, number 29 in yards per rush. Cincy's defense, number 18 in yards allowed per rush. The issue is Cincy defending the pass. Jalen Daniels has done some pretty amazing things in this offense. Number 16 in PPA per pass. They are number 22 in QBR. They're number 18 in havoc allowed, number 34 in passing downs, PPA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cincinnati is number 80 in PPA allowed per pass. They're number 88 in QBR. They're number 121 in passing success rate, number 121 in passing explosiveness allowed. Both of these teams are going to score points. This will get ping-pongy. This total is sitting at 55.5. There is a 56 out there. It opened at 54.5. My total is 55.35. I don't think that's enough. My projected score has Kansas about 30.5 to a little less than 25. I think the numbers come down too much. People are liking Cincinnati too much. They're going on the road here. I think Kansas plays well enough on defense that they're going to be able to get some stops. I think Kansas wins this by a touchdown, maybe more. I mean, that Kansas home field advantage is something serious this year. New stadium, crowd is amped up. They are looking really good. Give me Kansas to cover the 4.5 here at home. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and check out buymeacoffee.com/winningcures, or if it's working, bettingcfb.com. That is where you can do it. $5 a month, $50 for the year. You get these stat sheets, you get my official plays, all that good stuff. Game number 10, South Alabama at North Texas. That's right. This one on ESPNU, 11 a.m. Central Time. And good gracious, North Texas, this offense has just been clicking on everybody. Got a big win at Army last week, emotional win. This week they are favored by 12.5 pretty much across the board. There is a 13.5 out there. South Alabama, yikes. I mean, how do you, that Coastal team looked dead in the water and then just beat them like a drum in Mobile last week. 62.5 is our total on this one. There is 162 that is hanging out there This thing opened at 60.5. Everybody wants to bet on North Texas overs. I get it. I totally get it. North Texas won this game 52-38 last year. North Texas 2-7 against the spread as a 10-plus point favorite, so they don't do well as a double-digit favorite. South Alabama 3-1 against the spread as a road dog under Major Applewhite, and that is their second-year head coach. South Alabama, number 31, current strength of schedule. They have played Tulane. They have played Auburn. North Texas, number 133, current strength of schedule. That is something to pay attention to. Even still, North Texas is playing not flawless football, but they are number 1 in turnover margin, only number 16 in giveaways per game, but they're number 2 in takeaways per game, number 58 in penalties per game. That is the exact same as South Alabama. South Alabama, number 110 in turnover margin, number 120 in giveaways per game. That is a nightmare for them because they give the ball away a lot, and North Texas takes the ball away a lot. Some people say that turnovers are luck. I don't necessarily know if that's true, but it is something that I take into my capping. I pay attention to it. I certainly do that. Looking at the numbers, South Alabama's defense is number 107 PPA allowed per drive. They're number 103 in defensive success rate, number 119 in rushing success allowed, number 43 against the pass. So they're okay against the pass. Number 65 PPA allowed per pass, number 28 yards allowed per pass, number 15 in pass rate. So teams don't throw all that much on them. They're number 43 in passing success allowed. The problem is North Texas is really good at all of that. Number 8 in passing success. They're number 46 in PPA per pass, number 31, but they are really good at running the ball as well. Number 18 in PPA per rush. Well, South Alabama's number 119. It almost doesn't matter what South Alabama does on offense. The weakness of this North Texas defense is that they allow teams to run the ball on them. But South Alabama's not very good at running, even though they run it 60% of the time. They're number 73 in PPA per rush, number 74 in yards per rush. They are number 66 in rushing success, 74 in rushing explosiveness. It's not going to matter because North Texas is not going to get stopped on offense. So if that is the case, where my total on this is lower, 52, but also I'm expecting South Alabama to only put up about 17 points, and I'm expecting North Texas to put up 36-ish. So my power rating has North Texas by about 15. My projected stat spread has North Texas by 19, and I can get them at less than 2 touchdowns. I'll ride it. I know that the strength of schedule is completely different, but South Alabama has not impressed me, and North Texas looks like they are on an absolute tear right now. I'll take Eric Morris. I will take the mean green. Give me North Texas minus 12.5. Louisville is headed to Pitt on Saturday. This one is at 11 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone. This one on ESPN2, and Louisville right now a 4.5-point road favorite. There is one 3.5 that's out there. Total of 53.5. No. Started at 53.5. It's up to 57.5. And I'm curious about that. Now, I will tell you, my stat projected total is 59.5. So I guess I agree with the movement. Although I will tell you that running back Isaac Brown has got a lower leg injury for Louisville, and we weren't sure about the quarterback for Louisville. I'm blanking on his name right now. Ridiculous. Either way. Good gracious. I do too many games each week. I swear to you. Okay. Louisville is really good. 37-9. Louisville beat Pitt last year. That one was at home. Pitt is coming off of a bye here. The home team in this series, 4-0-1 against the spread, 5-0 straight up in the series thus far. So if you're at home, not only do you cover, you also seem to win the game. Pitt, 7-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 8 coming off of byes. And they are 10-5 against the spread as a home dog, which would explain why this line opened at 6.5 and it has come down to 4.5 and 3.5 in some spots. Eli Holstein for Pitt is PFF's lowest graded Power 4 passer right now. I found that very interesting. Don't know if I necessarily believe it, but because when you look at this, they're number 26 in PPA per pass, number 27 in yards per pass attempt, number 27 in QBR, number 39 in passing success rate. I mean, the numbers are there. Like, however you got to get to it, they get to it. They've done a pretty good job on offense. They don't run the ball well. However, they are supposed to get the running back this week, from what I understand. So Reed, I think, is going to be okay. They are number 47 in offensive success rate, number 39 passing, number 49 rushing. But Pitt is really good on defense. Number 9 in defensive success rate. Louisville also the same, number 22 in defensive success rate. Louisville has not been very good passing the ball. Number 94 in PPA per pass. That would be the spot where you would take advantage of this Pitt defense because they're number 88 in PPA allowed per pass. Looking at the intangible, Louisville runs the ball well. Number 6 in PPA per rush. The issue is that Pitt is pretty good against the run. Number 6 in rushing success allowed. Number 27 in PPA allowed per rush. Number 4 in yards allowed per rush. Turnover margin. Louisville number 89. Penalties per game. Louisville number 108. Turnover margin. Pitt number 61. Penalties 108. Tied with Louisville here. Pretty wild. Pretty wild when you look at it. When I look at this, the 5 factors, Louisville is better, number 38 in raw 5 factors rank. Pitt is number 50. You start digging into the current strength of schedule, Pitt number 106, Louisville number 125. Neither team has really played a difficult slate thus far. Pitt does have a loss, but Louisville has not covered a spread. I don't expect them to cover a spread here. I feel good about Pitt's defense, especially in this spot against Jeff Brom. Bye week to prep for this kind of an offense. Give me the Nard dog. Pitt plus 4.5. That's the best number I can get. Yeah. Pitt plus 4.5 at home. I think they can win this one outright. 11:45 a.m. Central Time, God's time zone on the SEC Network. The ranked and undefeated Vanderbilt Commodores are going to host Bronco Mendenhall's Aggies from Utah State. Good gracious. Our spread on this has Vanderbilt by 22.5. That has gone up from 21.5. So it opened at 22, came down to 21, is now back up to 22.5. Just sitting there. Vanderbilt has got Alabama next week on the road. Total of 59.5. We do have 160.5 hanging out there. And looking at some trends, this is the first ever meeting between these two teams. Utah State 3-8-1 against the spread as a road dog. They are 0-7 against the number before bye weeks. Now that is before Bronco Mendenhall got there. That's a big difference. Vanderbilt 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 games. They are 4-0 against the number to start this season, and they are just obliterating everybody. I mean, their points per game margin. Let's see, points per game margin, number 9 in the country. They're winning by an average of 34.7 points per game. They are scoring 47.5 points per game. They are only giving up 12.8. That's number 19 in the country. Their first half point margin is number 22, so they're normally winning by 10 points at the half. Second half point margin, they're number 1 in the country, 22.3 points they're winning by in the second halves. Just obliterating teams. But Utah State is also 4-0 against the spread this year. They do have the one loss that was at Texas A&M. Now, they do not match up as far as overall talent. Vandy, number 58 in On3's overall talent rank. Utah State's number 107. But I will tell you, Bronco Mendenhall's bunch, they are feisty, and they will always find a way to keep you in a ball game. Now, Vandy has been covering spreads. This number is out there. And when you look at the stats projected spread, it's got Vanderbilt by 25.45. My power rating, though, has Vanderbilt by 18.6. My total, I expect this thing to go way over all right, so it opened at 57.5. It's all the way out to 59.5 and 60.5 in one spot. I've got it at 65. Is what it is. So I've got a score of about 45 to 20 in favor of Vanderbilt. I'm not going to trust it. I think Vanderbilt takes their foot off the gas a little bit. They don't let Diego Pavia go out and just get absolutely killed. I think they give the guys a little bit of a break because Alabama is next week. Alabama plays Georgia this weekend. They will be beaten up. Vandy wants to be somewhat rested. They are at home. They are going to win this game. They are not going to cover this game. You can look at all these different stats all you want to, but we're going to be seeing more second and third stringers for the Commodores, I believe. And if that is the case, I think Utah State hangs around a little bit. It's still a double-digit win for Vanderbilt, but I think this thing is closer to 20 points than it is going over 22.5. We're going to take Utah State plus 22.5 to cover against Vanderbilt.
Are you looking to catch your favorite team or concert live? TicketSmarter makes buying tickets safe and simple. And with our promo codes, you save big. Use WCE10 for $10 off an order of $100 or more, or WCE20 for $20 off $300 or more. Grab your tickets now at TicketSmarter.
UConn travels to Buffalo on Saturday, and they are playing at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on ESPN+. And Buffalo, I expected so much more out of Pete Limbo's team. I really did. But I could say the same thing for UConn as well. You know, strength of schedule for both of these teams is Buffalo's number 95, UConn number 105. It hadn't been great. This total was at 48.5. It's up to 49.5. There is a 50.5 out there. Our spread opened as Buffalo a 1.5-point favorite. It is now out to UConn as a 3.5 to 4-point favorite, depending on what book you get. 3.5 to 4.5. Most of them are 4s, though. I will tell you that. I will tell you, this is one that I'm very iffy on because Buffalo has made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes so far this year. My stats projected spread has them favored by almost a point. My power rating has UConn favored by about 2 points. So the fact that this is out to even more is kind of nuts to me. But Buffalo just has not been making winning plays. 5 factors plus talent rank. UConn is number 85, Buffalo number 91. 5 factors rank. Buffalo number 79, UConn number 73. And looking at the history of this matchup, UConn won last year 47-3. UConn is 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 against Buffalo. Buffalo at home the last 2 years, they are 5-3 against the spread. So that is one thing to pay attention to. But the history of this matchup, it's just ridiculous. UConn on offense, I think is going to be able to do some things. Number 32 in PPA per pass. They're number 48 in QBR. Buffalo is number 85 in PPA allowed per pass. They're number 60 in QBR allowed. Passing explosiveness, UConn is number 7. Buffalo's defense is number 71. Rushing explosiveness, UConn is number 11. Buffalo's defense, number 39. So if you're looking at net explosiveness, UConn is number 23 because they don't allow a bunch of explosive plays. Buffalo is only number 76. UConn can use that to their advantage. UConn's defense is not good, number 105 in PPA allowed per drive. Buffalo, however, is not good on offense. Number 115 in offensive success. They're number 120 in rushing success. They can't take advantage of UConn and their weaknesses. That's a problem. The history of this tells me to go with UConn. I liked it better when you could get it at like 2.5. I'll still take the 3.5. Give me the Huskies. Give me UConn, even on the road, minus 3.5 at Buffalo. The Cal Golden Bears are going to Boston College on Saturday, and this one is 2:30 p.m. Central on the ACC Network. Cal absolutely got embarrassed last week at San Diego State, and I will tell you, Justin Wilcox came out and said, we got a little too big for our britches. We thought we were good enough to not have to worry about some of these other teams. And I think they're going to be a little more zeroed in this week, which is why this number has gone from Boston College minus 4.5 out to 6.5. I will tell you, Cal coming from the West Coast all the way over to the East Coast, if this was a 9 a.m. body clock game, that would be a problem. Instead, it's a 2:30 game. I think it'll still kind of weigh on them, but maybe not as much. This is the longest Cal road trip of the season. It's over 3,000 miles that they're going to travel for this game. Cal is they were 3-2 against the spread in different time zones last year, so they seem to handle it pretty well. BC 3-0 against the spread their last 3 conference home openers. Boston College, however, only 3-4 against the spread in their last 7 coming off of bye weeks. And that is what they're doing here. They're coming off of a bye. They went out and they lost to Stanford. It seems like people forgot about that. Stanford is objectively an awful football team, and BC just gave them the game. So BC lost at Michigan State, a game that they probably should have won. And then they go to Stanford, and they pick 6, turnover, give up big plays. I mean, it's just a nightmare of mistakes that they made, and they lose the game at Stanford. But they had a week to try and figure some things out. Cal's offense, for as much as we talk about JKS, number 132 in PPA per drive on offense. They are number 104 in offensive success rate, number 85 in passing success, 114 in rushing success. The defense for Cal is always going to be pretty good under Justin Wilcox. Is the defense going to be good enough to slow down Dylan Lonergan and Bill O'Brien's offense? That remains to be seen because BC can't run the ball at all. 135 in PPA per rush. They are number 134 in rush rate, so they don't throw the ball, or they don't run the ball very much. They're number 133 in yards per rush. On the other side, Cal is number 115 in PPA per rush. They are number 115 in rushing success, but they can be explosive at times and whatnot. And you want to talk about a fun coaching matchup? Brian Harsin and Nick Rolovich on offense for Cal. And then on the other side, you got Bill O'Brien, and both of them have got quarterbacks that can absolutely just deal. I look at this. So the total here is 51.5, and as I said, Boston College favored by 6.5. I've got a total of 46 on this. I think we could see points. Like, we could absolutely see points in this. So I'm not trusting that under here, but I think this is going to be a close ball game. This is coin flippy to me. So the fact that this is close to a touchdown, I don't know if I buy it. I trust Justin Wilcox on the road. I've seen them do this over and over and over. When you count them out, they always step up big. We're going Cal here. Cal plus 6.5. If this thing hits 7, I mean, that's going to be a best bet for me. But I will take Cal plus 6.5 for show purposes right now. Saturday, 5 p.m. Central on ESPN+. Liberty goes to Old Dominion. And boy, did we expect some bigger things out of Liberty this year. Good gracious. Our spread right now, Old Dominion favored by 16.5 at home. Yikes. I mean, crazy. Total of 51.5 on this. We got some storms going on just in case anything cuts out. You guys will know what's up. But yeah, the last meeting between these two was 2023. It was a 38-10 Liberty win. Liberty is 4-0 against the spread against Old Dominion in the past. Liberty 6-1 against the spread as a road dog in their last 7. Old Dominion is coming off of a bye, and Old Dominion 4-12 against the spread in their last 16 as a home favorite. Typically, they are not good in this role. Power rating wise, I've got Old Dominion favored by 13-ish in this spot. I've got a total of only 46 on this. Old Dominion has played the number, what was it? The number 5 strength of schedule? Now, this is current strength of schedule right now, number 23 per ESPN. But Old Dominion has played a really good strength of schedule thus far, especially for them. And they are still, like, top 10 in yards per play margin. They are really good. PPA margin, number 7. Offensive success, number 24. Defensive success, not great, but they are pretty good against the pass. Well, passing the ball is the thing that Liberty does the best. The issue is Liberty's not going to be able to pass the ball. That's going to be a problem because they are down to like their third string quarterback. Like that's a problem. Ryan Berger and Ethan Vasco both are dealing with injuries. So it looks like they're going to be down to their third string. And I think that's about all you need to know about this. Old Dominion is like actually really good. number 40 in points per game margin. Their offense is scoring 37.7 points per game. Like, their first half point margin is number 26 in the country. So I expect them to come out guns a-blazing in the first half. So that might be worth the play. Old Dominion first half, might look into that. 5 factors rank, Old Dominion number 34. Liberty is number 112. Liberty just has not been playing winning football at all. Old Dominion, incredibly explosive. Number 8 in offensive explosiveness. They're number 2 in defensive explosiveness allowed. They're number 1 in net explosiveness in the country. Liberty is number 95. I know the number is outlandish. I know it's crazy, but it hadn't hit 17 yet. Give me Old Dominion. They are an absolute freight train. They are 3-0 against the spread. I will take it. Give me Old Dominion to cover 16.5 against Liberty. 6 p.m. Central on ESPN. The Arizona Wildcats go to the Iowa State Cyclones. Our current spread has Iowa State favored by 6.5 at home. That is down from 7.5, but it is up from the 5.5 that it was just yesterday. Total of 48.5 on this. There is a 49.5 out there. I want to know who's betting the over here. Who on earth would be doing that when you look at these two teams? Arizona's defense has been lights out this year. I know Noah Fafita plays for him. I get that. But Rocco Becht is on the other side. I get that. The way that these two teams play, let's go and start off with that. Pace of play, Arizona number 81. Iowa State is number 103. Neither team, both are top or outside the top 80 as far as plays per game. So you're not going to see a ton of opportunities to score a bunch of points here. Arizona, number 22 in PPA margin. Iowa State, number 29. These wins that Iowa State has grabbed have not been great. I'll say that. They're number 82 in current strength of schedule. Arizona, number 113. This is the first meeting between these two teams since 1968. Both of them are coming off of byes. Arizona was 1-4 against the spread as a road dog last year. They were abysmal last year. They are already significantly better than they were last season. Iowa State, 6-1 against the spread. They are 6-1 against the spread and straight up in home conference openers. But they are only 4-6 against the spread coming off of extra rest in their last 10 under, of course, their coach there, Matt Campbell. So these two teams I've got neck and neck. Number 34 power rating for Arizona, number 35 for Iowa State. Number 22 PPA margin for Arizona, number 29 for Iowa State. Arizona's defense is so good. Number 6 in defensive success rate. The thing that Iowa State is okay at, passing the football, they're number 74 in passing success. They are number 24 in PPA per pass, number 35 in yards per attempt, number 35 in QBR. Arizona's defense, 15, 2, and 1 in those metrics. They are really, really good on defense right now. And then on the other side, I mean, Iowa State's defense is always going to be pretty good so long as John Heacock is the defense coordinator there. I feel good about it. I feel good about this team. What Danny Gonzalez is doing for Arizona's defense is otherworldly. I mean, remember, Danny Gonzalez is a Rocky Long disciple, so he's got this thing turned around. Arizona is number 1 in turnover margin. They don't give the ball away. They're number 26 in giveaways per game. They are number 1 in takeaways per game. They take the ball away 2.67 times per game. Just nuts. This number is crazy. Like, I know it's at Iowa State. I get that. I've got Iowa State power rated a little over 2 points better, and that is with home field included. And I've got Iowa State by 0.76 points. So I'm looking at a score of like 24-23, somewhere around there. It would not shock me to see Arizona win this game. I will take Arizona plus 6.5. I mean, if this thing hits 7 again, like, I'm all over it. Because I believe in this Arizona team. Give me the Wildcats, plus 6.5 on the road.
Stop guessing and start winning. Stokastic provides advanced data and strategies for DFS players and bettors, built by pros who know how to find edges. Click the link in the description and sign up today.
Okay, we got 4 more games. Let's go on and run through these a little more quickly than we have been. I will say that. Virginia Tech going to NC State. This one at 6 p.m. Central on the CW. This one has been pulled off the board for whatever reason, so I'll give you the latest, the ones before they pulled it off the board. NC State was favored by 10.5 with a total of 57.5. NC State is getting a lot of love right now. I've got NC State by 12 in this game. My power rating has them by 10. The total was 58 when I made the sheet. My total on this was 51.77. So the fact that this was coming down a little bit makes all the sense in the world as far as the total. Philip Montgomery is the new interim head coach for Virginia Tech. They did finally get a win against Wofford last week, so that's okay. NC State, significantly worse strength of schedule. Virginia Tech has a top 25 strength of schedule, and, they got obliterated by Old Dominion. Turns out Old Dominion is kind of a freight train. There is not a single number that looks good for Virginia Tech right now. Is there some kind of a dead cat bounce? You get a new interim coach in there. You got a little bit of confidence last week against Wofford. Does something change? Is there something they can do well that NC State cannot take advantage of? And I can't see it. I don't see it anywhere. The fact that this was below 10 before is insane. There's just not much to this. Number 120 in defensive success rate for Virginia Tech. They're number 52 in offensive success rate. The problem is they're number 92 in PPA per pass, number 100 in PPA per rush. Even NC State's weak defense is still good enough to defend that. So, Virginia Tech can run the ball. The problem is that that's the one thing that NC State is actually pretty good against. They're number 20 in rushing success rate allowed. They're number 24 in offensive line yards allowed, number 39 in stuff rate. It ain't good for Virginia Tech. I'm curious if they will change anything up, but as it sits right now, looking at the 5 factors, looking at these two teams, the only way that I would be comfortable going is with NC State, especially coming off of a loss to Duke last week. They're at home. They're going to be fired up, and they're significantly better than this Hokies team. Give me the Wolfpack minus 10.5. The Kentucky Wildcats are going to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks Saturday night, 6:45 p.m. Central on the SEC Network. And as it sits currently, South Carolina is a 6.5-point home favorite. Total of 46.5 on this. And you can get a 45.5 out there at one book right now if you want it. I did not change my number around. I've got a total of 51 on this game, so the fact that this is going up from the 45.5 that it was makes absolute perfect sense. It's up to 46.5. I think it'll go a little bit higher than that, although neither one of these offenses has anything to write home about. My projected number on this has South Carolina by 0.31 points. I guess you can say that they've got more talent, like maybe more people believe in Lenore Sellers, I guess, but he hasn't given anybody anything to believe in to this point. Kentucky has played a stronger strength of schedule, number 48. South Carolina, number 67, current strength of schedule. And South Carolina is number 130 in offensive success rate. Mark Stoops is going to figure out something to do against Lenore Sellers, even on the road. Looking at some of these trends, South Carolina won this game 31-6 last year, but that Kentucky turned the ball over and over again. It was a disaster. South Carolina 3-0 against the spread in their last 3 against Kentucky. The under has hit in 9 of the last 10 meetings. Kentucky 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 as a road dog. Kentucky off of a bye. South Carolina 0-2 against the spread as a home favorite already this year. They have not done a good job of covering the numbers. So when you look at this, Kentucky's defense, number 63 in defensive success allowed. South Carolina can't do anything with the football. Like they're 58 in PPA per pass. They're number 30 in yards per pass attempt, but they're number 119 in passing success, 129 in havoc allowed, number 101 in passing downs PPA. I mean, it's all over the place. And if they try and run the football, like that's what Kentucky's actually pretty good at. Number 65 in yards allowed per rush, but they are number 38 in PPA allowed per rush. They are number 59 in rushing explosiveness allowed. On the other side, Kentucky can't throw the football at all. Number 123 in QBR rating. On the other side, though, that's where South Carolina has problems. They're number 86 in rushing success allowed. Kentucky is number 16 in rushing success. So do with that what you will. But I am convinced that Kentucky is going to find a way to stay in this ballgame. I don't think South Carolina can pull away from anybody. I mean, they haven't done it so far this year, and they played some pretty bad teams to open up with. They did hang around with Missouri, but Kentucky is a well-coached football team. I think this one is going to be a lot closer than people think. Give me the Wildcats plus 6.5. Next to last game, and we've got Louisiana Tech going to UTEP, 8 p.m. Central, ESPN Plus, and people want me to believe in something that I just don't know if I can right now. People are all over UTEP. Malachi Nelson, all that good stuff. I understand Scotty Waldron. I get it. It looks nice on paper. But when you start digging into stats, number 79 PPA margin for UTEP, number 115 per offensive PPA per drive, just not good. The defense has been okay. Louisiana Tech is favored by 4 points here, with a total of 48.5 on this currently. Now, that is down from the 50.5, which makes sense. My projected total on this is almost 45. Both of these defenses are good. Both the offenses are bad. That makes sense to me. Absolutely makes sense to me. Louisiana Tech won 14-10 last year, so you had a total of 24 on that game. Louisiana Tech 11-1 straight up, 6-6 against the spread since 2013 against UTEP. They almost always win this game. Like over 90% of the time win this game. Pretty crazy. UTEP 3-1 against the spread their last 4 as a home dog, and the last 8 times as a road favorite. Louisiana Tech is not only 0-8 against the spread, they are 0-8 straight up. They have been upset every single time they have been a favorite on the road. This is something that I can believe in. I think Louisiana Tech is pretty good this year. They had a big win last week at home against Southern Miss. Now you got to go on the road to UTEP. This thing was like a pick'em once upon a time, and then it just got bet out Louisiana Tech like nothing. And you got to believe in your numbers, if nothing else. My power rating has Louisiana Tech by 6. My projected stat spread has Louisiana by 6. I'm looking at a score of like 25.5 to 19.5 in favor of the Bulldogs. Louisiana Tech number 51 in PPA margin, UTEP number 79. Again, both offenses are bad, but Louisiana Tech's defense is so much better. So much better. I think that's the only direction you can really go with this. When you pay attention to the 5 factors, UTEP is number 107. Louisiana Tech is number 41. Now, some of this has to do with the fact that UTEP is number 16 in strength of schedule, but Louisiana Tech is number 53. Louisiana Tech played LSU. UTEP played Texas. I don't think there's a huge difference between those two teams. If they played today, the spread on that game on a neutral would be maybe 1 or 2. So these are two teams that it is what it is. Louisiana Tech had to play in Baton Rouge at night, and they held LSU to 10 points at the half. I think it was 23 points total for the game. I think Louisiana Tech's a good football team. I don't know that UTEP is there yet. So with a total or a spread of only 4, I'll go Louisiana Tech. I don't think UTEP scores many points here. I'll take the Bulldogs. I'll take Sonny Cumbie. I will take Louisiana Tech minus the 4. Last game of the evening or of the day or whatever you're watching this, BYU goes to Colorado, and this will be the last game that's on ESPN that night. 9:15 p.m. Central Time, ESPN. Of course, it's God's time zone. BYU, a 6.5 point road favorite here. Total of 47.5 on this one. And, oh boy, why don't we change the sheet over? That'll make a whole lot more sense. Last year's Alamo Bowl was an absolute thrashing by the Cougars over the Buffalo. 36-14, BYU won that game. BYU 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 as a road favorite. But BYU 1-5 against the spread in the second of back-to-back road games in their last 6 in this role. Colorado 4-1 against the spread as a home dog under Coach Prime. But that one loss was earlier this season, so that is something to pay attention to. I would love to pick Colorado here. I really would. My power rating has BYU just by 7. The stats, though, the stats. I mean, you got to pay attention to this. And yes, I know BYU number 128 or number 120 in current strength of schedule. Colorado number 61. But when you start breaking it down, BYU number 6 in PPA margin, and this defense is nasty. They are so nasty. Number 1 in yards allowed per rush, number 12 in yards allowed per pass. They're number 7 in QBR against. And Colorado does not have an identity on offense. They don't know who they want to play quarterback. So the offense isn't great, and the defense has not been very good either. So number 99 in yards allowed per rush, BYU is number 11. You start looking at some of this other stuff, rushing explosiveness, BYU is number 6. BYU number 58 in offensive line yards, Colorado number 86. And then when you just break down into the intangibles, BYU number 8 in turnover margin, Colorado number 43. When you look at the 5 factors, BYU number 11, Colorado number 86. This BYU team is really good. I think they're going to handle them again just like they did last year, especially at the lines of scrimmage. Give me the Cougars. It's under a touchdown. I'll take it. Give me BYU minus 6.5. All right, that is going to wrap things up. We're not going to do a recap. We're going to get you out of here pretty quick because I kept you longer than I anticipated. So with all that said, go to bettingcfb.com. Go to buymeacoffee.com/winningcures. Make sure you are subscribed here. Like the video. Jump in the comments. All that good stuff. And we're going to see you next time. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. God bless college football. And hopefully all of your tickets cash this week. Thanks for listening to Winning Cures Everything. Subscribe, leave a review or comment, follow @GaryWCE on X, and check out the web store,